research diamond development and that type of thing. And the county's moving ahead with ULI to develop a strategic plan for that area. You've got tremendous resources in the university and the airport. You've got a lot of land that's already been zoned. It's
Right.
not in the DRGR. It's west of the DRGR. Why are you opposed to that?
You know, when we talked about this, I would have to say that I have a lot of concerns about that. One of the factors is that the idea that why do we want to keep developing further and further away from our existing urban centers? Why do we want to keep creating longer commute times? You know, the fact is Cape Coral has the third longest commute time of any of the small cities in the country, as Forbes magazine indicated. You know, we need to be focusing on redevelopment and infill. You know, and there's several reasons why that's important. One, you have the issue of the further east we develop, the more we create problems in terms of building roads, and that means more infrastructure, that means sewers, that means pushing police and fire out there. We're at a point right now where we don't have those kind of infrastructure dollars to just spread so thinly. And I think that where we already have infrastructure, we're already existing in place, think about this. We could actually reduce impact fees because the infrastructure is already there. And there's a lot of different things that we could do with that. Now, to say that I'm wholly opposed to the research diamond, I think would be a mischaracterization. I think that there are areas that require, for companies and facilities that require large storage facility, large production, then I would think that that's, of course, an appropriate place, because they do need those large parcels of land to be able to create that stuff. But what I don't want to see is just sprawl of more office buildings and of that nature. I would like to be very firm and specific about what can be built in that area. But I would point out to you that, again, having a fiber optic system would serve that area. That would be the perfect synergy. And, you know, and I think that, you know, we have to be flexible and we have to build coalitions, but I think that is something that could work.
You served on the commission, if my understanding is correct, you served on city council with Tammy Hall, is that correct?
No.
You did not? Okay. I thought that you had. Tell us, how would you approach your relationship with your fellow commissioners? In other words, to create a consensus that, in my opinion anyway, doesn't appear to be there right now, in a positive way anyway. So what would be the process that you would employ to sort of create a sense of, lack of a better term, a sense of unity or something more cohesive that can actually get work done on the commission?
Mm-hmm. You know, something that we did at one point on the city council, we actually had several workshops where we just removed ourselves from an agenda, where we could just talk. And even towards the end of our meetings, we would just have a 15-minute roundtable discussion. And I think that really helped a lot to get everyone clear on what it is that they were focused on and what everyone else's concerns were. So, I mean, that's one aspect, but you know, I personally don't think that just because everyone's not in agreement that that's a bad thing. You know, I mean, through discussion and through debate, you can reach a compromise where actually you come up with a better solution. So, I'm not afraid of being the lone vote, and I'm not afraid of getting into a discussion and debating.
We're about 5 minutes left to the interview. Go ahead.
Almost every interview we've been in for county commission, for your particular district or the others, they've been asked the question how they feel the current county manager is doing. So I only feel it's appropriate to ask more of that question as well. So.
Well, you know, working on the city council and working with Karen, I was very impressed with her and her skills and what she was able to accomplish with human resources and in that field. I'm concerned about the budget and the way it's been handled. So, you know, I think that's a direct reflection on her, so I have an issue with it, and I don't think that staff has made any tough decisions in giving any realistic proposals to the commission to debate and discuss, and I think the commission hasn't demanded of staff to provide them with any real, true ways to get through this budget and how to handle it in a way that would be different. Right now, it's just about maintaining the status quo, keeping borrowing from reserves to maintain salaries, and I don't understand why there hasn't been any real discussion in terms of what can we do differently, how can we reinvest in our infrastructure to prepare us for this new economy. I feel like essentially they've been treading water, and I have a problem with that.
And how would you approach it as a commissioner, if elected? What are the kinds of things that you would ask of staff during, let's say, commissioner remarks or during a discussion? What specific, first 100 days on the commission, what would you like them to accomplish during that time, or what would you like them to bring back to you in terms of ideas? Any specific proposals from that standpoint? If it is a specific plan to, whether it's perhaps layoffs or furloughs or the fiber optics idea, for example, is there anything specific that you would expect from them in the first few months of your tenure if elected?
This is being done in like 40 different counties in Florida and a couple of other states where there's actually a service that comes in and they register homes that are delinquent in payments or abandoned, and then the banks are then required to pay into this fund, and it could generate like $1 million a year. And I know that this has been proposed to the county, and staff said, actually looks like a really good idea, but we just don't have the resources to investigate into it. And I'm like, it could generate $1 million a year, and county staff wouldn't have to be doing anything, but you all could, but you could hire someone that does this. I mean, I think that's clearly something that could go a long way, and that money could be given to code enforcement or the sheriff's department. Renegotiations on all the different contracts need to be brought in, and I think that I would demand that staff go through and take a look at, give me some hard numbers in terms of where they think things could be cut. I think there's been a lot of staff department heads that have been there for a very long time, and I think that I have been told by other people who work in the building industry, people who have interactions with the different staff, that there's still a lot of people there that are not necessary. I mean, the zoning department, there's not a lot of activity going on. The permitting department, there's not much activity going on. But there's a lot of people there that are still there, that maybe they could be transferred over to planning, but not convinced that we still don't need to be making cuts, because we need to take a look at where we were before 2005 and where we are now. I mean, there was a huge ramp up in staff, huge ramp up in salaries. And if we're going to be realistic about where we are and how fast we're going to continue to grow, we need to probably scale back to where we were before then. And those are tough questions, but I don't think that we've been asking them, and I think that we need to take a harder look at it. Everything should be on the table.
Okay.
There's about $6 million left in the incentive fund for the EDC. If they came and asked
what?
for the economic development, there's about $6 million of the 25. If they came and asked you for $20 more million, would you be in favor of it?
Not with the way the money's been spent. I mean, I'm totally opposed to the way giving $10 million to Alginol, which is a startup company. I feel that has been, the county behaved like they were some kind of venture capitalist, and I don't think that's the appropriate way to spend those kind of dollars. I don't even think the Economic Development Office was in favor of that, because I mean, I've looked at their charter, and what they said was to focus on tested and proven technologies, and that's not one of them. And so I don't want to put any more money into a fund like that if that's the way it's going to be used.
Okay. Well, we are at the conclusion of our interview. Are there any final thoughts or words that you have for the public or for the editorial board?
No, other than the fact that, I've been tested on the city council and I've proven my ability, especially in terms of innovative ideas, bringing them forward and making them work. So I am very excited.
Thank you very much.
Okay.